And hello everybody. If you follow my single player Let's Play, I built a little armor kind of equipper, but I didn't really like how it worked, so I wanted to do something a little bit different. So this is a armor swapper. So what it does is when you drop some stuff off, it holds what you're dropping off down here while dispensing whatever is up here. And then as soon as it's done dispensing all these guys out, it will unlock that part, and those items will get sent up and replace these items. So it simply works as a swapper. So if you're in survival mode, you simply walk up to it, and it gets activated not by a button or anything like that. All you gotta do is just start dropping stuff in. So you just drop your armor, maybe your weapons in there, and it fires off and spits out the contents, and then the stuff that you dropped off replaces those ones. So it works pretty good. There are some flaws. If you're not quick enough, it doesn't work. So if I drop off my armor and then wait a second and drop off my sword, you can see I kind of triggered the system twice. So it ended up spitting out these pants at me. So that's the only real criteria, is you got to be quick. You got to consistently drop your stuff without kind of providing any pause. And there I failed in getting my pants on. A common problem of mine. Okay, so let's take a look at how it works. It's actually quite simple. There's not much to it at all. So there's a hopper here, which is where you drop your stuff off. Break that open. So as soon as you start dropping stuff off, this comparator is going to detect an item coming through here, and when it does, it powers this block, which powers this redstone signal. And because you're dropping off like armor and stuff, it gives off a signal strength, I believe, of 2, possibly 3. So it will first power this guy, which will then go directly into this comparator, which is then going to start doing this pulse lengthening loop thing it does, which is handy. So this keeps getting refreshed every time a new item gets thrown in. So if you're dropping off like a full set of armor, it keeps refreshing with each one. So as long as you keep this pulse kind of active and don't let it drop while you're adding items in, you're okay. Now you could take a repeater off this and bump this up to a signal strength of 15, and you wouldn't run into that problem, but you'll get an excessive amount of ticking. So it'll dispense a lot of times before it actually stops. So I opted for this variant instead. So less ticking, but you got to be on the ball. So anyway, that pulsar does two things. There's a repeater heading off that way, which we'll take a look at, but there's this torch that goes up, and it powers this little comparator pulsar. So in the subtract mode, it takes a signal, 15, 14, 13, and then it deducts it. So and then it goes 15 minus 13 is 2, so it goes 1, or 2, 1, and then it decays. So this is actually 0. And then it also takes that 2, 1, and 0. So now it compares 15 to 0, which is 15 again. It goes 15, 14, 13. So this piece of redstone dust basically swaps between a signal strength of 13 and 0, which will cause this guy to pulse with every time it activates. So that's those little guys, which I'm sure you're all familiar with. If we hop around the other side there where that repeater is, what it is doing is going into the item elevator. So we have the two droppers there. You have a comparator here, which is in subtract mode, pulling or reading the contents of that hopper or that dropper. So as soon as something's in it, it's going to try to activate its little clock. So it's going to power that block, which goes into this repeater, 2 ticks, which powers the redstone dust, which goes back into itself. And what that does is turn this torch off and on, which activates that redstone dust, which turns this torch on and on, which is what powers those droppers. However, if this is getting a signal from over here when this is running, this signal strength here will deactivate this comparator and basically prevent it from pulsing itself on. So those items will basically just sit in the dropper until this turns off, and then this thing will be freed up and it will still be trying to pulse even when this is on. So as soon as this turns off, it's able to, and it will keep pulsing on until the items get thrown up into this hopper, in which case they get deposited into the dropper, or the dispenser, sorry. And then, yeah, it's ready for the next cycle. So I'm fairly happy with the design. It's fairly compact, relatively. It's a cube. It's a 5 by 5 by 5 cube. So not too bad. But yeah. Shall we build one? Let's just put that away and bring these guys down. Whoops, almost perfect. I failed. Alright, so let's go off to the side. We'll keep it in line. So the hopper is about right here. So why don't we take a 5 by 5 area, since that's what we need. And we'll build one of these out. Okay, so there's our platform. So in the direct center is where our droppers go, and we're going to put 2 of those. And then we're going to put 2 hoppers facing into them. And then we can put a block of your choice right there with the dispenser. And then the hopper right behind it. Next, let's do the item elevator. So the item elevator is a comparator on subtract mode with a torch and a block on top of it, and also a block beside it, and a block beside that one with 2 pieces of redstone dust and a torch. Okay. Next, we're going to take a repeater off the side of the block from the comparator. We're going to put that to 2 ticks, and we're going to put 2 pieces of redstone dust right there. That is our item elevator. Okay, we're going to do our item detection. We're going to take a comparator right here with a block. We're going to do 2 pieces of redstone dust right there, as well as a comparator that way and a comparator this way, and a redstone dust right there with a block. Okay, on top of that block, we're going to put a torch. We're going to put a block. We're going to put a torch. We're going to put a block. We're going to put a comparator right there, and we're going to create the little pulsar. So we'll put block there, and because of that torch here, we're going to put a slab so it doesn't power the redstone dust we're going to put on top of that. And we're also going to put a block right on top of here, and that's to prevent this redstone dust from going up here and interfering. So without that block, we can see it gets powered, so we don't want that. So redstone dust there, put redstone dust on the hopper itself, and then another block to the side with another piece of redstone dust, and we turn that to subtract mode. So this is where the does its little compare job and creates a little pulsar on this block here. And the last part is our repeater. So we just hook up our pulsar, or yeah, sure. No, this isn't a pulsar, pulse lengthener, to our item elevator, and we're going to lock it with this repeater right there. And that is all there is to it. So we can give it a test. Let's go ahead and throw in the diamond stuff. I guess. What are we on? We got armor. Alright, let's just keep the weapons. Let's go to survival mode and let's try it out. So if I just drop, you can see we get equipped and the other armor gets thrown up into the dispenser. So there you have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any suggestions, comments, anything, feel free to leave them down in the comment section below, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and we will see you in the next one. There will be a world download available in the description, so check that if you are interested in downloading it. I will also include a schematic, a MC Edit schematic of the 5x5 cube that you see on your left. Alright, thank you very much. Bye-bye.